today's project is a little different. More small engine repair. I should just call this a small engine equipment repair channel at this point. So anyways, this is my chainsaw. I have a chainsaw that I've been using. That's my dad's. It's an older 80 mile saw. It's a Husqvarna 65L. You know, it doesn't have, it's a lot heavier because everything is metal on that thing, and it doesn't have a chain brake. It's actually a way more powerful saw than this saw. Anyways, back to the subject at hand. With this saw, needless to say, it's not running right. I can't get it to stay running. They don't want to clean up when you get on the throttle real hard. I can't tune it out. I don't know if it's the carburetor that's on it that's the problem, because this was a replacement carburetor, and I thought maybe the plug might have been the issue, so I just ordered a whole new carb kit that came with everything. I also need to install, I took this out thinking maybe the other one was the problem, because I did have an issue with the saw when I first got it, and that is the fuel tank vent that's right behind the pull cord cover. So we're just gonna jump right into this. I gotta take the pull cord cover off to do that, and I gotta literally take the whole handle and the trigger assembly off to change the carburetor. So let me get a screwdriver and some Allen wrenches, and we'll get started working on this. All right. I gutted this one, thinking maybe it was an issue. I gutted it. I'm gonna put one back on here that actually filter like it's supposed to. I have a video on my channel. It's an older video where I explain changing these little vents out. Essentially the problem I was having, and it's in the video too, but I'm gonna go ahead and re-explain it. The problem I was having before was that the saw would get hot and quit running. We're gonna have to change both of these wires out, because I ain't running this like this. So I did not know this was like this before. I just knew it had tape on it. I thought it was a factory little sheath, but I did not realize these wires were going to the coil were just destroyed. All right, so it's a little more in depth than what I bargained for today. That off. Do that. That could definitely cause some problems. All right. So, yeah. So you can see the wires deteriorated, probably from bar oil and gas and stuff being spilt on it. Yeah, this ain't gonna fly. I'll have to make a new little harness. I'm gonna have to reuse part of this green wires. I'm not gonna have this end like this, but I should have the regular little eyelet and the regular spade connectors. I just need to go look. But for now, we're gonna move on with taking everything else apart to do the carburetor. And we'll come back to that when we finish putting everything together. And you don't want to, you got to be careful up in here because your throttle cable or rod, the throttle rod, comes through here and it's got this little plastic piece on it. And you got 3 screws that hold the handle together. You gotta take the screw out right here that holds the little shock absorber piece, or the shock absorber or whatever this is for the handle. And then you gotta undo, there's one down here. It's this one right here, and I got a regular bolt in there. There we go. All right, we got that one's connected to it too. Quick, you gotta pop this little holder right here off the carburetor. You can kind of, yeah, you can take that out just like that, and it slips through this little rubber grommet back here. All right, I'm losing track of stuff here. All right, there's there's 4 screws on the back of the carburetor that we got to take off. There's 2 little rubber grommets on each side. I'm having to dig in my memory and kind of look at it a little bit. All right, there we go. And then the whole carburetor will kind of slide out at that point. And you got a fuel line that's jamming me up right here on the bottom. God, dog, that sucker don't want to come off. I keep dropping bolts. Let's see. There we go. All right, let's compare. Let's do a little comparison. They look identical. The only thing different between the 2 of them that I see right off the bat is that I have to have a spline screwdriver to adjust these. I think I got it. Which I do have the little spline screwdriver that fits this, which in my opinion, I think that's better than using a flathead screwdriver to adjust them. So it pays to look at diagrams. This gasket, according to the diagrams I've been looking at, doesn't even go in there, and it doesn't go in here either. So I had one back here. I got to looking at it. I don't know why I put it in there originally. I guess I had a brain fart. This is like a rubber back here. This should seal. All this stuff should kind of seal on its own. So we're gonna put it back together without it, and kind of see what happens. So I want to double check it. I got that fuel line pulled through. It's hard to probably see it, but you can see the 2 grommets down there in the bottom. One right here by my pointer finger, and then the other one over there. Since my fuel filter fell off while I was trying to pull that hose back through, I wanted to go double check a diagram to make sure that I put the filter on the correct hose, and it shows it being they show it being this rearmost hose, being the one that gets the filter, which is the one I had to pull back through. So I'm gonna do that real quick, throw the filter on it, and then I'm gonna look for some wire and some electrical connectors and stuff to try and fix the wiring. Yeah, so all fun stuff. I've got it pretty much back together other than the last couple pieces of this. I just wanted to show it a little better, hopefully. So you got this little rubber piece right here that's supposed to keep stuff out of the carburetor area. Should not have, there, like so. There, I had it upside down. Feed it through there like so. You just kind of snap this plastic clip back if it'll. There, okay, there. And you should now have your working throttle. That's what's going on. Alright, so you gotta have the spring goes inside of here. You're on the little peg here, you're on the peg there, and you gotta make sure you got this little end inside of the channel of the handle. So that way, so you can't, it's locking it out, push it down. Now you can get to the throttle. Alright. Next up, we're gonna do the spark plug. This is the old one. I'm gonna look up the gap and verify the gap real quick, and then we'll install it, and then we'll work on this mess right here. So I got my spark plug gapping tool, which is in thousands, right? I guess I've never used it, so I didn't know. There's a metric side. Millimeters, it says it right there. So from what the internet says, this thing should have a spark plug gap of 0.7. So, and it's nowhere near that. It is stupid tight. I ain't gonna lie, I probably, when it comes to small engines, I don't ever do this with small engines. I did my lawnmower, but usually like when it comes to my chainsaws, for whatever reason, I've never done this. All right, I got it to 0.7. I don't know if y'all can see that too well. There we go. All right. Now we just gotta fix this. Let me find some wire. I already found my connectors a second ago, and I'll get those crimps so I can splice this onto another piece of wire. So I got some wire. It's not the exact colors, but it'll work. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna keep this one with the green stripe for the green wire, and I have some connectors. I don't know if they're small enough though. If not, then I'm gonna have to cut a piece off each end for the time being and just crimp it back together. Let's see. What y'all think? It's a little wide. I think it'll work. It's very snug on the chainsaw. It'll work. This goal made it in the box. All right, I forgot to grab my wire strippers. I don't know if I told y'all, probably said it several times, I really, really like these Milwaukee wire strippers. These suckers work so good. Never actually bought a good set of wire strippers before. So I have a box of old wires from a parts car that I took apart. That's where these wires came from. So these are automotive grade wires from an old Honda. So Should work just fine. That should be good enough. That should work. You know, it's gonna make it a little long the way I'm doing it, but I think it'll be fine. Now let's see what size we need. Probably going to be this red one, if I had to guess. All right. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna snip off a little bit of this sleeve because it's actually a little bit on the this wire. There we go. I like that better. It actually go in the soldering joint now because it wasn't going in there before. Turn back the wire a little bit. Should be alright. There. Let that cool off, and now we got the one done. Alright. Almost went to the wrong spot. I'm gonna look real quick because these are actually a little bit big for this. Might be able to drill this little one out, make it work. Let me look. I kind of mangled it a little bit, but I was able to get the hole big enough to where I can thread the bolt through it. So I'd rather use the correct size, because this is for 16 to 14. I'm pretty sure this is like 18, 20 gauge wire. So I'd rather have the correct size crimp fit electrical connector on here. There. Now we can run this one. Maybe I should have left the handle off to do this. It might have been a little bit easier. There we go. And now we just got to hook it up over here. It hooks up right down there. I just can't freaking get it on there. Right in there. There. Goes in like that. Now we'll put the plastic piece back on. Got all the wires route on top of. What happened that last time, I guess I put this cover on. I noticed that when I took it apart this time, somehow the pull cord cover, the bolt that goes through here, went through the wire. So that definitely wasn't helping anything with the runnability of the saw. So, and it may have contributed to it not running right prior to me taking it apart. So, alright, now we got it rewired, new carburetor. I got put this old air filter back on, spark plugs on, gapped correctly. Maybe we can get this thing to run. I just realized I didn't put the air filter on, so I'm gonna take that cover back off. I'm gonna take it off for a couple of reasons. A, in case I need to hit it with a little starting fluid. And B, I gotta put the filter on. All right. I'm gonna do this my way. I'm gonna turn these in until they bottom out. All right, 1.5. I'm gonna leave the high on. Let's see if it'll crank. That might help. That took me a minute to get tuned. I just went and did it off camera. I had some people come over that I hadn't seen in a minute. They stopped by. I actually loaned them my tables for a little yard sale, and they were dropping that off and dropped me off some posts that they had laying around. I actually went and cut down a little small tree for a little test. And I tweaked it a little bit more when I came back after, you know, I ran it good and got it good and heat soaked. So, I mean, you can see it right there. It cranks up very well. I do have 3 really dead trees over there. I don't know, it's so windy today. I don't feel like. We'll test it out on camera another day when it's not so windy. Actually, you know what? We can go over there. I'll just do some test cuts on some of the stuff over there. So as you can see, saw runs good, it cuts good. I'm gonna put that cover back on real quick, and we'll call this thing good. I just need to get some bar oil. I think it's got some in it. I need to tighten the chain too. The chain's really loose. But other than that, this will conclude the repairs of the saw. But I do have a little story time for y'all. Alright, so I've been back here doing a lot of clearing work because I've been trying to get stuff kind of set up for hunting season. I've been clearing back this way. I got my feeder over here. I want to clear the path further back over there. And then I've been working over here, clearing out, going back this way towards this old shed that's back here. So I've been doing a lot of this with my tractor, with the that big heavy rake I have for it. And there's just some stuff back here that I wasn't able to push over or push through with the rake or with the big push bar on the front of the tractor. So I had to go get a chainsaw and start working on clearing out paths with that, just so I can get in there with the tractor to the smaller stuff and so I could rake that out, you know. So I was back here by this old shed working on clearing things out, and I made pretty good progress because there's a lot of decent sized trees, as you see about this log and some of the stuff that's laying right here. And I cut this pine up. Well, I had the saw running really good. Like, I just spooked a deer. So I had the saw running really good. Like, I could set it down, the chain wouldn't spin, just sit there and idle all day long, right? Well, I had to kill the saw so I could move stuff. Well, when I cranked it back up, it wouldn't stay idling. So when I was up in here cutting more and moving stuff out, and you know, because I like cut and I bumped the throttle and I kind of dragged the limb out the way, and like just like little stuff, right? Well, I was up in here cutting, trying to make room for myself. I stepped over something and my leg hit the bar when the chain was spinning. Off of one of the times when I bumped the throttle, right? I wasn't on the throttle, it was right after I just bumped it. So now I have a nice scar across the top of my knee, and I now own a set of chainsaw chaps. So, you know, I know there's a lot of people out there that go their whole lives without ever jacking themselves up with a chainsaw, but so it's probably worth it to spend the $80 and buy the chaps instead of risking it every time. Hey, if you liked the video, it'd be greatly appreciated if you hit the like and subscribe button. If you want to see more of me doing the clearing work on the tractor, let me know in the comments. If I do more of that, should I post it on this channel, or should I make a new channel separate of this one and do like kind of like a homesteading-ish channel or something, you know? I mean, I got a bunch of acreage here. I mean, we got a chicken coop that we've been working on building. It's about 80% done. Just got to put the roof on it. Different things like that, you know. If y'all want to see more of that kind of content as well, let me know. I'll make some videos of some of that stuff too. Anyways, thank y'all for watching.